Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome to my video. Thank you guys for tuning in, you know what I'm saying? But before I get started, this is for entertainment and educational purposes only. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a financial advisor, I'm none of that. I'm just here to share information with we, the people. And I don't give legal advice. You know what I'm saying? Also, too, guys, if you're looking for some great resources, you know what I'm saying, on these topics that I touch on, click on the link in my profile and check out the resources I have to download. And also one more thing too as well. If you haven't did so yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Sun9NY Vibes. Head over and subscribe, guys. I highly appreciate it. But today we're going to be talking about the Postal Service and the Postal Office, because there are two things going on here. First off, you got the Post Office and the Postal Service. They are two different entities that are not the same. You know what I'm saying? The Post Office is something that goes way back. It's ancient. It goes back to the camel riding days and goes way back. You know what I'm saying? The Postal Service is a federal corporation. And did you know you can mail a letter for 2 cents? You heard me correctly. You can mail a letter for 2 cents. But the reason you can't mail a letter for 2 cents at this very moment, because you've been taught to abbreviate, use a zip code. You know what I'm saying? When you do these things, you are telling them that you are under their federal jurisdiction, and they can charge you outlandish rates for stamps. I believe the price of stamps are 68 cents a stamp at this current moment. You know what I'm saying? So when you mail through through the post office, the rate of mail is only 2 cents. When you utilize the post office, now there is only one person that works in the post office. I mean the post office, and that's the post general master. You know what I'm saying? He's the only one that actually works. He wears multiple hats. You know what I'm saying? And he's the only one that is employed with the post office still to this day. It still exists to this day. And I had an issue with my mail and stuff like that. They tried to send me the Reorganization Act of 1970, and it don't apply because they have to honor this. You know what I'm saying? Sending mail the 2 cents for 2 cents. They still have to honor it. You know what I'm saying? They cannot dissolve the republic. That was the agreement that they signed once they took over the post office, and they did take over the post office. But the post office. I get confused. Sorry. When they took over the post office, they still had to send out mail for 2 cents, basically. You know what I'm saying? That was the agreement. So let's read a little bit. Use of the zip code is voluntary. Well, did I tell you guys that everything is voluntary in the system? See Domestic Mail Service Regulations Section 122.32 point. And you should also know that the Post Service cannot discriminate against a non-use of the zip code. See Postal Reorganization Act Section 403, Public Law 91-375. The federal GOV utilizes the zip code to prove that you reside in the Federal District of Columbia. This is why the IRS and other government agencies, state and federal, require a zip code when they assert jurisdiction by sending you a letter. They claim that this speeds the mail, but this is a sly and subtle trick. It is also prima facie evidence that you are a subject of Congress and a citizen of the District of Columbia who is a resident in one of the several states. You do not want to be a resident, guys. You are not a resident. You are domicile. You are an inhabitant. of the United States of the American Republic. You're not a resident. Not at all. So look up what the word resident means. The receipt of mail with a zip code is one of the requirements for the IRS to have jurisdiction to send you notices. The government cannot bill a citizen of Illinois, which that's what you are, a citizen of Illinois or a citizen of New York, you know what I'm saying, because he is not within the peer view of the municipal laws of the District of Columbia. In fact, the Internal Revenue Service has adopted the zip code areas as internal revenue districts. See the Federal Register, Volume 51, Number 53, Wednesday, March 19th, 1986. You must remember that the Postal Service is a private corporation, a quasi-governmental agency. It is no longer a full government agency. It is like the Federal Reserve System, the Internal Revenue Service, and the United States Marshal Service. They are all outside the restrictions of the federal Constitution as private corporations. They are all powerful in their respective areas of responsibility to enforce collection of the federal debt. So if you are using a zip code, you are in effect saying openly and notoriously that you do not live in the state of Illinois, but instead you are a resident in the Illinois area of the District of Columbia, a federal district. There are some so-called patriot groups that I consider to be patriots for money. They advocate the use of Title 42 suits, which are federal citizens only, send mail to you with a zip code and ask you to do things to place you within the municipal jurisdiction of the District of Columbia. Let's see what else. And it also goes on, remember these individuals may be agents of the government or even worse, are advocating a one world government by the use of the Social Security number and the zip code. So I'm not part of none of that, you know what I'm saying? I'm just me, you know, a guy with information, and I'm just sharing information. I'm not part of none of those silly little patriot groups and all that, man. I'm not part of no groups, no nothing. I'm just me. So, but continue on. As you can see, that everything is voluntary, man. You know what I'm saying? Everything is voluntary. It's voluntary. You know what I'm saying? They use what is called the not only do they use Latin, you know, in law, but they also use word magic. You think a word means one thing and it means totally something else. But as you can see, the use of a zip code is 100% voluntary. You do not have to use a zip code at all. And in the next video, I'm going to show you proof that I just recently sent off something for 2 cents. Actually, I mailed it to myself, you know what I'm saying, just to see that if it would go through, which I've mailed this way hundreds of times, you know what I'm saying, but I just wanted to show you guys that it's real and the Republic still stands. It's just that the Republic is dormant because why? Because we the people are not utilizing the Republic side of things, and the Republic side of things is the private. When you're dealing with the public, when you're dealing with the Republic, you know what I'm saying, that's the private side of things. When you're dealing with democracy, you're dealing with the public side of things, which that's where all your headaches come in at. You know what I'm saying? Have to pay taxes and got to get a driver's license and you got to do this and you tax 45% of your pay, you know what I'm saying? And that's the public side. You want to get in over on the private, where your true freedoms are at. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this is not legal advice. I'm not a lawyer. I don't give legal advice. This is just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you can mail a letter for 2